Welcome to the station. Enjoy your stay.
All right. Welcome back to Space Station 14. This will be a number of rounds taking place on Wizard's Den Lizard server. It'll be a compilation of nuclear operative matches. Now, in case you don't know, I'll explain the basics. You spawn as a highly elite soldier. Your mission is to detonate the nuclear payload on the station. Here's our first order of business. Choose our mode of operation. We decided we're going to declare war. Declaring war means also as you can see, I just injected myself with an implant. It's an acidifier. We get a code to the nuke. There's the station nukes. Things are moving fast. So we declare war on the station. Now the station has a 20-minute timer to prepare themselves for our arrival. Whereas on our side, we get twice the budget of things to purchase. To detonate a nuclear payload on the station, we have to get a nuclear disk, which is usually carried by the captain. We have a pinpointer that points to it, and then we have to insert it onto the correct nuke. We either have to use our own nuke or the station's nuke. So as you can see, I'm gearing up. I'll do this for the first time. I use an energy sword and shield. Some of the mandatory equipment that we'll see me buy soon. Okay, also because we have declared war, I buy myself an upgraded suit. This is going to be a Juggernaut suit. Extremely resistant, but very slow. Noticeably slow. Also, this is going to be my worst ever nuclear operatives round. Anyway, next, I buy no-slip shoes, meaning I can run at full speed without ever slipping on the ground on some puddle of something. Very useful and cheap. Pretty much mandatory equipment. Next up, I'll be buying this on every single round. Agent ID card. It means that the AI and Borgs are going to consider you a crew member, so they can't actively kill you unless they have weird laws. As I've said, this is going to be my worst performance as a nuclear operative. It wasn't my first operation, but it was certainly my worst one. Now we're on station. I wanted to explain a little thing. People are often confused because they know for a fact that nuclear operatives have a nuclear detonator, a nuclear bomb on board. So why do they often have to find the station's nuke or mess around with it? It's because the codes you receive are either for the station's nukes or your own nuke. Lone nuclear operatives that can spawn mid-round always have the station's nuke. Also, an extra tip. When you have to use your own nuke, you can emag, at least that's what I think you can emag the pinpointer you can see on the table over there with a question mark to be linked to your own nuke, so you always know where it is. These are important information because, as per server rules, lots of things can happen during nuclear operatives that can count as round stalling, and therefore aren't allowed. So for example, throwing the nuclear disk in space, in some random point in space, even though you have a pinpoint that points to it, you can go and get the nuclear disk, but then get lost in space and never make it back. Anyway, here's our first stop, the automated trade station. It's always a good target to hit. It means that the crew can't sell any more things, so they'll have a finite amount of funds. We get lucky and kill the quartermaster, so we'll get to copy their access on their card with the agent ID. You can see him just hanging around, not doing much. We start destroying the trade station, but that was actually a mistake. We could have used the trade console to sell the things and steal their money. Anyway, next stop, the AI satellite. The AI is usually a very strong counter to nukies. It can know your position at all times. It can block doors even if it can't kill you directly. So we make it here and bomb our way in. However, I do make a bit of an oopsie. I plant the C4 on myself. Ouch. It's at this point when I've bombed myself that I kind of realized this is not going to be a good operation for me. Anyway, we make our way inside the AI satellite. Here's the proper way to disable the AI. You get to them. This is gonna take a while, because these wind doors are extremely resistant for some reason. You use a mini bomb directly placed on the AI. It's gonna make it so that the tile under the AI is gonna get unconnected, so now I can drag it around. You have to throw it in space. The AI can control things that are on the same map as them. However, we drag the AI back to our own ship, which means now the AI gets to control our ship, as you'll be able to see. Ignore what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm talking about. Talking about emagging the AI. Also, this is these rounds are taking place a long while ago, so you can see that the emag hasn't been changed into two different things yet. Anyways, you can see the AI is bolting our doors. So now we'll have to fight against our own ship and destroy it so we can exit. Anyway, we make our way to our first initial assault on the station. Our plan is to go into cargo since we have the quartermaster's accesses and do some murders. However, as you've seen, the people were ready to wait for us in space. I'm quite tanky with the shield and the juggernaut armor, so I can't really move that well. Also, as you've noticed, I haven't taken a jetpack. Big mistake. I try to make my way into the place, but there's no backup. It's a bad idea to split up on your nukies. One stun and I'm done for. People could just stun and cuff me and then be... all my equipment would get stolen, unless I acidify myself. Anyway, there's a bit of a space skirmish, as I can't really participate since I don't have stuff. You can see Operator Alpha has been cuffed in space somehow. We try and go for the rescue, but it's not gonna happen. We're extremely slow, stuck in space. Not a great thing. People are just skirmishing in space, not really moving anywhere. As you can see, I'm just tanking these shots. They're using a syndicate gun, probably taken from one of the cuffed operative. I take out my own gun. Miss all my shots. Take cover. I'm trying to heal, but I do it wrong. Instead of using the auto-injectors for my medkit, I try and use topicals, which aren't going to be able to be used. Also, my gun is out of ammo, so I just threw it somewhere. A bad idea. Now I can't reload it. However, I try and make my way back to the ship. You can see that there was a nuclear operative right there, but they don't see me. Somebody comes in here and tries to remove my equipment, so I acidify. Not a great showing. Anyway, the operation isn't finished though. There's still more people. Right now, the nuclear disk is being hidden inside of a shadow anomaly. It would be kind of effective, but we have pinpointers, and if needed, there's a bunch of dead security officers who have flashes to dispel the anomaly. Anyway, because of the pinpointer, they get a nuclear disk. Now they make it to the vault. Input the code that we had received earlier. It's a bad idea to try and use fake nuclear disk, because nuclear operatives have pinpointers who only point to the real nuclear disk, not a fake one. As you can see, because they've killed the captain, they have a remote that allows them to bolt doors, any doors really. There's been mostly random skirmishing with the crew, when somebody with a elite suit and an E-sword try and take them on in a 2v1. The elite suit is immune to fire damage, which is half of the E-sword's damage. It also uses slashing damage. So while they do have the advantage in a 2v1 against an agent and a commander who have the best armors in all of the nuclear operatives, It wasn't gonna end well. Anyway, as you can see, we went from 5 people to only 2. Operator Alpha and me, who was also called Operator Alpha for some reason, got killed in the initial skirmish. Somebody else, I don't know what happened. I don't, honestly, I don't remember. But the crew's fighting strength has been extinguished. They don't have any more bodies to throw at the Nukies. No more ammo. The Nukies don't have any ammo. As you can see, they're using E-swords. And this still counts as a somewhat successful operation. Next up, we'll have a somewhat better go at it. This time I'm a bit more experienced. I'll be skipping most of the gearing up phase. The commander's asking if we're gonna declare war. In the end, we don't declare war. We just go for a stealth approach. The plan is to go to security, take out the armory. Because of that, I don't have heavy weapons. I have mostly support equipment, an access breaker. For some reason, I took out a voice mask, which is gonna bite me in the ass later. I run my favorite gun, the Viper, the little pistol you get at the beginning. It's cheap, free, has lots of ammo, automatic fire, decent damage. Just a bit finicky to reload. The Viper, the energy shield, making us really tough for not much money. Anyway, we get orders to move to security. Now pay close attention to where all the agents go. Right now we stick together. I flip my map so I get to recognize the layout of the station. We pass by a security officer. I don't shoot, trying to avoid friendly fire. Now, I stay here and loot the security officer. I try to get more ammo for my Viper. I try to get access, so we can break into a security even faster and keep my charge of my access breaker for the armory. Anyway, I forget to loot the bag. Or at least, I don't actually forget. I just don't find any ammo in there. And as you can notice, all of the operatives are spread out. The commander got the captain. The agent and me are here. The 2 other operatives went south of Sec, whereas we are north of Sec. We managed to kill the warden, so we have access to the armory. I use weapons from the armory to delete their ammo, make it harder for the crew to arm up. As you can see, there's only 3 of us left. The other 2 are randomly spread out. I now make a tactical mistake. The head of security is using a shotgun, and I close in for short-range combat. So I eat all of the shotgun bolts at the same time and get almost critted. I also make another mistake. I use an auto-ejector, not for fire damage, but for brute damage, while I'm next to the agent. The auto-ejector has a Bicardine. When it's used with advanced chemicals like that the agent is carrying, I'm gonna get poisoned. But at least we're not dead. And we're not spread out yet. As you can hear, southwards, somebody's shooting one of their C-20, a syndicate gun, meaning one of the agents is just down there trying to break into security, but they don't manage to make it. They don't have any access, and they're gonna run out of ammo. Anyway, we go to the AI satellite, we blow it up. As you can see, I've switched weapons. Because they have the CAPS ID. I get it. Now we know the location of one of the other people, the newsroom. The commander asks us to go and fetch the guy in the newsroom since he doesn't have any ammo, which is honestly a bad call, as you'll see later. So now me and the agent leave the commander behind alone with the nuke, and we go towards our operator. I have no intention of actually going there because our guy doesn't have any ammo. He can't make his way through an unarmed crew, since they probably got lost because they didn't rotate their map properly. So we're just gonna guard this point next to the nuke, halfway there, The operator can link up if they manage. Now we'll do a bit of combat. Since we raided the armory first and killed most of security, it takes a while for the crew to arm up. We had time to go and bomb the AI satellite. So we just guard this tunnel near north of security. The agent uses a melee weapon, while I have a ranged weapon, meaning I have to wait for the agent to back away before I can shoot without shooting him in the back. Now, Pun Pun here has a disabler, but Pun Pun isn't, for some reason, monkeys don't get to use guns very effectively. So that doesn't end up anywhere. Somebody with a camera and stun, they have beanbags, tries to shoot us, but doesn't do much. I also don't hit very much because I can't, he was using the agent as cover. He was placing the time between me and the agent, so I couldn't shoot at them directly. The agent takes out a bulldog, and you can hear lots of clicking. Because we put ourselves in each other's way. The agent could shoot, I couldn't shoot. The agent goes down. In fact, I shot the agent a couple times. The agent was wise enough to not shoot me in the back. Otherwise, would have both been down. I use my burn injector, which doesn't do anything because we took a bunch of bullets. I try and hide myself in a hidden place so I can heal up. I have plenty of ammo. I just need some health, and to be able to actually hit my shots. I tell him that the agent is down, meaning all of our meds are gone. At least the advanced, easy to use, effective meds. I think of going into the vault to heal up, but the commander walled off the vault, meaning now I'm stuck in the corridor at low health, which is pretty much a doom sentence, a death sentence. So people with disablers come in. They shoot me with non-lethal rounds, but I get killed by them. So we just acidify to avoid them taking our stuff. Now, pay close attention to what the commander does. The last person armed, they're by themselves. They've walked off the nuke and the vault, meaning they don't have to defend the south side because it'll take too long to deconstruct. So they stick to the north side. Look closely how he's dodging bullets by doing up and down, while hitting his shots accurately. Because he's by himself, he doesn't have to worry about friendly fire. They've slowed down a bit because of all the damage they've taken, but they have the correct medicines this time around. And also, I didn't notice how, but somehow they managed to escape. Oh, they used a scram implant, meaning they teleported out into the space. They randomly teleported. It just happened to be out into space, which was really advantageous. So they could heal up. They have the captain's laser, so they can shoot through the glass. As you can see on the south side, people are trying to deconstruct the walls, but it's going to take way too long. People are trying to hack through the doors. The commander can shoot through the glass, skirmishing with the crew, stopping them from breaking through the doors. After having seen this, I've always tried and carry this equipment on me to build walls on the go. Because of how effective this was and how useful this could be. We could reinforce our own position or something. So another successful operation, but it didn't go very well. Now here's a more average, and our last round for today, a more average run. I'm much more experienced. As you can see, I'll try to teach somebody how to be a proper nukie. Here's a thing. You can see I'm picking up the nuclear codes myself, checking them. The code starting with NT something something means we have to use the station's nuke. So you can see what the process looks like. We can also use the console to check which station we're going to be assaulting. So if you know the station, you can make a better plan. Also, we have to teach the commander. Anyway, our plan is pretty much the same as last time. Assault the armory. and go on from there. As you can see, I have many more meds this time. Equipment to build stuff, tools, screwdrivers, wire cutters. I put my meds inside my quick use pocket. I run the same build as last time. E-sword, E-shield, Viper, and an E-pen as a backup weapon. And a frag grenade, in case we need to make some space. We come in through a sneaky point. The armory is in the middle of the station, but using this here old Atmos derelict in maintenance, we can come in from space undetected, since the space doesn't have any power. I drop my jetpack, because we probably won't be doing back into space. I don't take out my E-sword, because that'll be quite obvious and loud. I take out the Viper, meaning I have one hand free to do other stuff. We now beeline it for security through the chapel, where one person is hanging out. A Medborg sees us, but now it's pretty much too late. Unless security rushes the armory right now, they won't be able to make it in time. So we both use C4, since this is a 2-layer wall, and reinforced walls. So, the first layer is down, now we go for the second layer. I use some of my tools to quickly get it out of the way. Now, security is going to be skirmishing with the head of security. I use my access breaker to open up the safe so we can have more space to move, and some guns. As you can see, I pick up literally all of the ammo for this Lecter. They use lasers so they can hold the position. I used an EMP implant, so now all the lasers are uncharged, which means that if somehow the crew gets in here, they won't be able to use the lasers themselves. And now you think of using a mini bomb to make some space, and also to space the area. All the hard suits are on the armory, so security is gonna have a hard time fighting while the place is spaced. And also they use a loop bomb, so now there'll be a double disadvantage. Security pretty much has to escape from security now. I also steal the sec fab. That way they won't be able to remake, or at least they won't be able to easily remake their ammo that I've all stolen. So I steal it, destroy it. It's not that destroyed, all they need to repair it now is a screwdriver. But it means that they need some coordination now. And it's not in a standard place. Anyway, they look for more of the safes. My access breaker hasn't been done yet. We skirmish with a detective who has a armor-piercing revolver, meaning it's quite effective against lone nukies. And they somehow got the head of security shotgun, which I secure immediately. We don't want to leave any extra weapons for the crew to use, especially effective ones like the energy shotguns. So I put it on my back. Since my bag is full. We're at a standstill now, waiting for the nukies to do whatever it is they're doing. Our next objective is to go and get the disc, the nuclear disc. Get some effective fire down the hall. Trying to rotate and use the ammo that we have. And now try and say to the nukie to push for the nuclear disc. We make our way, advance, mow down security as they're pretty much unarmed. No, people still haven't gotten stuff from the armory yet. So we're trying to make our way to the disc. As you can see, it's getting closer and closer on the pinpointer in the bottom right. I can see lots of lasers, so I take out my energy shield. When I see the captain in space, I know this map very well, so I know that now the captain is pretty much stuck in space. The only way he can escape is through this airlock you can see right on the map, which he didn't use. Another airlock is up north near the bridge, but he won't use it because that'll be taking too much time. So now he's stuck. He has no way to escape unless he does the entire runaround, which they won't do. So I close in for the kill. I miss some of my shots. In fact, I missed most of my shots. Not very good aim. But I have multiple weapons and backup. So The captain is down. I use an auto-injector for burns, the proper one this time around. Pick up the cap's weapon. I drop my gun. I have ammo for it, but it doesn't really matter anymore. I have both the head of security shotgun and the captain's laser. So now we can hold this point in space, like the captain was doing. We also have the nuclear disc. And the captain's ID, so now we have all access. We just have to regroup with the other people. They were fighting in front of the bridge. They didn't follow into space. Now somebody here tries and talks to us. They said they're friendly, doesn't really matter to us. As you can see, I considered trying to take my Lecter back. I don't actually. I prefer to use the head of security shotgun. I copy the all access on the captain's card. I get Doggy, why? Doggy, why don't you have cognizine? Okay. Anyway. We let them do whatever it is they want to do. It doesn't matter to us. We're now arming the nuclear code. And I'm trying to build some fortification. The operator just shoots me in the back with a sniper rifle. Hurts a lot. We make some girders, which serve as some kind of fortification. It's going to be a bit of a funnel. I'm hurting a lot. So I have to heal myself since the agent is kind of busy right now. And I have to avoid the agent because they'll overdose me. For some reason I now can't continue the repairs on the girder. They won't fortify. Which is a shame, but not the end of the world. We're not taking a lot of damage. So, we stay in the vault, hide a bit, recover, make sure to recover using our meds. It doesn't take long, and we still have some people holding the place. Artifact tries to put us on fire, but doesn't work. This place is pretty much space. The crew uses the grenade, but forgets to push afterwards. Also, there's a bunch of lube on the ground, so they can't really push effectively. I'll go back to my tactic of trying to reinforce the place. I use an EMP, which drains all the energy weapons. I try to find my steel again. There it is. There's a bit of a lull in the fighting. But another stinger grenade. The crew can't push. Apart from the detective over there who has mag boots, so he doesn't slip on the lube. I don't have an effective weapon apart from my shield and Viper. Reminder that the Viper can go full automatic if you just right-click on it. My fortifications have been destroyed, but it just means we have more space now. We can focus on the others. So, we make some more girders. The Borgs tries to fix the spacing, which is not going to work out much. Anyway, the crew, a bit hesitant to push. Make our first reinforced wall. The Stinger hits, but the crew can't push. Second reinforced wall, now there's a funnel. A lack of space to fight. People are rotating, one at a time, taking position in front of the funnel. I unload on some technical assistant. Last magazine of ammo. The shield makes us quite tanky. And reflects bullets. As you can see, the crew has stayed back. Now I think is the time to finish our constructions. I put the steel in my bag, and then I forget that it's in my bag. So I just go around scavenging some of the steel on the ground. I close off the bridge, meaning that now the crew won't have enough time. By destroying these walls, they won't have enough time to destroy these walls, and, at least in theory, they won't have the time to destroy these walls and make it to the nuclear bomb. But now it means that the crew is going to have to use space to get in here. Agent thinks it's cheap, but the crew has plenty of ways to get into the bridge still. Just not the obvious one. The one that has lube and a bunch of people guarding it. But they can try and come around the back. And we can hear that somebody's trying to go around the back already. So, we unload some shotgun shells. Boom, dead. Not shells, but laser shotgun stuff. Another salvager's trying to make their way there. I asked for the captain's laser, but they weren't in range. The agent has a white hole grenade to stop people from gathering at the fortifications. The Savager has made their way through the windows. They're now out into space. Not much of a threat. One Savager with a PKA against 5 Nukies. But they do have a stun baton. Anyway, the famous click happens. My gun is out of ammo. But it's too late now. And as you can hear, the nuclear bomb is about to go off. I get lucky, my shield reflects any chance of friendly fire. I try to escape into space. Here we can see what the crew has been doing all this time is gathering this point. And there it goes. So, that was a more average round of nuclear operatives. Pretty fun, pretty cool. Anyway, see you around.